What's up YouTube, it's your boy M8trix21 back with yet another video. And as you see from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about Becker and Mariotti with Rokimoto and Thrilljoy. So let's get right into it. Let's go. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell as well so you never miss a video. And if you're a returning viewer, thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button. Now let's get to the first admit it. Collecting has been a little bit stale lately. There has been some cool stuff, but not a lot of stuff that I absolutely have to get. But lately, Mariotti and Becker have been bringing the fun back to collecting with the things they've been dropping with their new companies, Rokimoto and Thrilljoy. And it seems like with both these companies, they're going to be getting to what collectors actually want and getting back to the core of what Funko was back in the day. So today I want to just break down the two companies and basically what I'm excited about from both these companies. I'm not going to glaze fest them. I'm going to go ahead and break down a couple things that I think they could still improve on, but overall I want to talk about what they're doing good, what they're doing for the future, and just the overall collectibles that they're dropping. If you don't know who Mariotti and Becker are, I mean, it's a Funko channel, pretty much a Funko channel. We do sneakers here, but I mean, you should pretty much know who they are. But if you don't, Mariotti was the former CEO of Funko, and Becker was the creator of Funko. And they both have since left Funko and decided to make different companies with Rokimoto, with Becker, and with Thrilljoy being Mariotti's company. And you can kind of see the DNA of Funko in both of them a little bit, but they are two very different companies. Thrilljoy kind of focuses on limited pieces and chases, super chases, one-of-ones, and just really cool figures like that. And Rokimoto kind of has that Japanese vibe, retro Japanese vibe with mystery figures, with chases as well, but not as limited as the Thrilljoy figures are. But either way go, two very good companies that are, like I said, different enough from Funko that they can be seen as their own, but he still has that kind of DNA in there. At the end of the day, I'm still a fan of Funko, so as you can see here in the background, we still have plenty of Funko Pops, and I still will be collecting Funko in the future, but like I said, it has slowed down a little bit, gotten a little bit stale, but either way it go, more competition, the better it's going to be. And add more things, more different things to the collection is always fun. So without further ado, let's break down these two companies and why they're bringing fun back to collectibles. So we'll start things off with Rokimoto, and Rokimoto being a company that was founded by Becker as well as Dave Beer. The figures are essentially inspired by retro Japanese culture. Every figure has a chase or a slurry prize because it is based on noodles or ramen. Instead of coming in a box, each figure comes in a ramen or noodle cup. It has the DNA of Funko Soda, which I mean, it's obvious it does. You can see from the box or the noodle cup that is really similar to the Funko Sodas, but Funko Soda was designed by Becker, so his brainchild as well. So it's just like an evolution of Funko Soda, in my opinion. Very similar, different figures, but the concept is really pretty much the same exact thing. You get a figure with the soda, and you get a chase version of it. With the Rokimoto, you get a figure in the noodle cup, and then you have a slurp prize with it. The figures with the sodas actually came with a pog. The figures with the Rokimoto figures actually come with a patch. Really similar concept, but at the same time, the figures look different enough to where you don't really, associate them being with the same thing. At the same time, it's still something new, something that we haven't seen, and I think it's pretty dope. Now, the thing I do like about Rokimoto so far through waves 1, 2, and 3, but more with wave 1 and 2, they're focusing on original characters, original IP, and not the licensed IP. I think that's a good idea, especially starting out, and I do think Becker himself can carry a line himself and not have to rely on an IP or on a licensed IP as of right now. You will have to do that later on, and he does have some of those coming up if you see wave 3, but as of right now, mostly just original IP, which I think is dope. And like I said, when you have somebody that already has a big enough name in collecting, you can kind of go that route and sell figures that people may have not seen before, or characters that we don't know and we can get familiar with and like it. So I do like the lineup for wave 1. I do like the figures and characters he has created, and I think they look pretty cool. The slurp prize or the chase, in my opinion, is really cool as well, because you get a figure, the same figure, same character, just eating ramen, and I think that's a pretty cool concept. Like I said, especially for the Japanese culture and Japanese aspect of it, pretty cool in my opinion. The thing I would say about this is I'm not sure how limited these are. I hadn't seen them having a piece count on the actual figures, and I think we all know that's the reason why, one of the reasons why Soda kind of died out, because when they started going away from the limited figures and going to just unnumbered figures with the Walmart ones and the Target ones, that's when it kind of fell off. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think this has to be super limited. I think it will be a lot of numbers of these. I think these will be limited. They're just not number limited. We just won't know how many numbers. I think, I mean, like, I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I hadn't seen any numbers or on the actual figures or on the actual packaging to determine how many figures are actually being made. So the limited aspect of it, we don't know yet, but I would expect it would be somewhat limited because of just the places that they're selling them at so far, which so far has only been Miniso, and I think I've seen some available at Toy Tokyo. But like I said, we do have a global launch. We had the original launch at New York at Miniso, and it did well, but it wasn't a global launch. The global launch is April 11th at Miniso, so you should be able to pick those figures up then. I think the figures are $14.99. I think at Toy Tokyo, that's what they have them listed at, $14.99. So I think it's a pretty cool price. It's comparable to the Funko Soda, but I think it should be a easier figure to make than the Soda because you don't have to make that metal can. You make these cardboard noodle boxes. So I think it still works out pretty well. Speaking of Wave 1, we did get Wave 2 and 3 announced at WonderCon last weekend. And like I said, you do have now the Peanuts line coming. So you do have some of those licensed IPs coming. And I think they do look pretty good. Like I said, but those came way after the initial line, Wave 1 and 2 of original IP, which I think is really dope. Also, at WonderCon, they announced a Fun Days type event called Dreams, and I think this is cool. We don't know if we want to get Fun Days from Funko ever again, but at San Diego Comic-Con July 26th, I think, July 26th, we will be getting Dreams from Funmaker Inc., and I think that'll be dope. You know what to expect from that. It's Funmaker Mike, so you want to get protos, limited pieces. You're going to find out what's coming out in the future, and just all kind of stuff like that. A big party, basically celebrating the company, celebrating what's coming, and partying and just giving away stuff. So just to be expected, and it sold out immediately. I think it was like 600 tickets, and all of them sold out immediately. So just much like Fun Days, you can cancel going to this thing. But either way it go, I think this is a good thing. Like I said, we don't know if we get Fun Days anymore since Funmaker Mike is no longer with Funko. So he moved that on over to his new company, and I think that's pretty cool. Like I said, we'll get more of that hypeness of it without somebody trying to tell him what to do. He's running it, so it's on him. Like I said, there's a lot to be excited about from Rokimoto. I think Funmaker Mike could do a good job with this, and I just can't wait to see what more figures they have to come in. Especially, I want to see more of I want to see what other licensed IP they will have with this. Being in Japanese culture, you would think you would have some kind of anime figures coming, but that's just me. I'm an anime fan, so putting anime figures in that style, I think would be pretty cool. But can't wait to see what they do with it. I know that, like I said, we have Astro Boy coming. We also have Peanuts coming, so we got some pretty cool things coming in Wave 3. But overall, Wave 2 and Wave 1 and Wave 2 are pretty dope. And if I had to pick out something bad from this, or something that I would just be nitpicking at, it would be more of just the noodle cup aspect of it. I like the noodle cup aspect of it, but I'm an inbox collector, so there's really no way to keep it as inbox if you just don't open it. But other than that, you're going to open it, it's going to tear open the noodle cup, and you really can't get it back to how it was. So me personally, I don't like that aspect of it, being an inbox collector, but that's just me nitpicking. Other than that, I like everything else about this company and everything they're doing. And I do want to know personally, is this going to be mainly focused on Miniso being sold there and just other mom and pop shops? If it is, I'm cool with that. But as long as it's just not super wide, keep it kind of limited, keep it kind of small, I think it'll be dope. But overall, I think Rokimoto is doing a good job. Before we get into it with Thrilljoy, check out Gasolcast's video of them interviewing Brian Mariotti. If you don't get hyped about Thrilljoy from watching that, I don't know how you're going to get Thrilljoy. I don't know how you're going to get hyped about it. Asked good questions, and he gave a lot of information about how he feels about the company, and I think it's super dope. It's going to, if you're a collector, this is going to really pump you up and amp you up to go and buy more Thrilljoy collectibles. See, I got the boy in the background here. Pretty cool. But like I said, Thrilljoy is a company that, to me, I see what they're doing, focusing mostly on limited pieces, giving and really keeping their ears to the streets of collectors and having collectors, actual collectors board, and people actually helping him, Brian Mariotti, with what the collectors want. Like I said, Mariotti and Becker are both collectors themselves, so they really push for collectors, but you really can see it with Thrilljoy and where they're going, because they launched at New York Comic Con last year, and they had a lot of good hype with it, a lot of good stuff with it. But the one thing that I even mentioned this in a video in the past that they can do is, this box is super big. Super big. It needs to be a little bit smaller, and they have done that with the new Pix line, and they turned this to Pix Panoramic. They still will make these, but they have the smaller version of it. It's too big, and like I said, the price point for it is $50 plus $15 shipping. it's a little bit pricey as well. So they have the newer versions coming out with the same figure, same size figure. Only difference is it's a smaller box. Still has the chases. They even have one of ones in some cases, and it's $20 and it's a smaller box. So I think it's dope. I think it's a cool idea. I think they're moving forward in the right direction. And at first I didn't think that this was a competition. This was in competition with Funko just because of the price point. But that new one definitely is in a competition with Funko, especially with their $20 price point. But it's pretty cool that we're actually getting stuff like that. And like you said, he's super emphasizing on keeping stuff limited and out of big box stores like mom and pop stores instead of Walmart and Target. You'll get them at Newberry Comics and stuff like that, which I think is a good idea, and it's a lot better in my opinion because you can keep that number small. You don't have to blow up the number from limited pieces, keep it at 3,000, 4,000, something like that. You don't have to go to like 20, 40, 50,000 pieces to satisfy Walmart and everything. So I think that's pretty cool that they're doing it like that, and it just looks really dope in my opinion. Also, we getting a pixel line, which is kind of like their blind box version of this big figure, just a smaller version of it, magnetic. There's a chance of getting a gold figure, which you can redeem for a 12-inch megapix that's special to that, and I think that's dope as well. So I just like the way they're doing things over there, and they're keeping it limited, keeping it cool. They really listening to the fans, and I think that's a good thing. And that megapix that comes with the pixels is limited to 300 pieces. So like I said, they're keeping a small number, and I think that's dope. They found a better price point for some of their figures as well, and I think that's dope as well. So they're really listening to the creators, to the customers, and they're really doing some cool stuff over there at Thrilljoy. So I just think that's dope. And once again, just like Rokimoto, they did announce an event for San Diego Comic-Con called the Block Party, which is going to be on the 25th. And once again, you can expect some protos, giveaways, and stuff for more stuff to come, parties, games and all kind of stuff. So it's going to be an exciting thing. No word on how many tickets were supposed to be sold for this. No word on how this will be called a block party. So will it be outside? Will it just be for anybody? Who knows? But I think it's pretty dope. And they decided to do it on opposite days. Thrilljoy on the 25th and Rokimoto on the 26th. Like I said, the changes they've made since October with New York Comic Con to now are great. Like I said, they really listened to the people and really made the changes to make this company even better and more exciting. So I just can't wait to see what more they have in the future, what more figures they have in the future, and it's just dope. And just to nitpick on this again, like I said, just so I'm not just all positive, I wouldn't mind seeing more. We're getting the obscure kind of licenses, IP. And I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more that are more notable. We do have TMNT, we got Freddy and stuff like that, but it's a little bit more notable. I wouldn't mind seeing Marvel, I wouldn't mind seeing some anime, but that's just me. Other than that, this company's doing great, and I think they're going to do a lot better in the future. And like I said, I wasn't expecting them to be in direct competition with Funko, but they kind of are now with their $20 figure. But still some dope stuff. Like I said, I'm excited for both these companies, where they are and where they're going. Like I said, two creative people that are also collectors and also listening to the people and just doing pretty cool stuff. Can't wait to see where this goes for both of these companies. Now we'll be picking more of these up in the future. We'll be doing more reviews for you guys in the future of both of these companies when I do get some Rokimoto figures in the hand and more picks as well. So I will be doing some reviews on those guys. But like I said, either way it goes, it's going to be competition. Funko hadn't made soda, but they do. It's going to be in direct competition with Rokimoto. And like I said, the new pick size is direct competition for Funko, especially since Funko Pops are going up and they're $20, $25 now. And that's it, $20. So yeah, it is what it is. But like I said, competition is always good. It brings the best out of most people and most companies, so we'll get more competition, so we should be getting better quality items, better items, period. So I think that'll be a good thing for both companies and for the consumers, pretty much, and for the customers and the collectors. So it's always going to be a good thing. Plus, hopefully, Funko can get back to their origins. But that's all I have for you on this one. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell as well so you never miss a video. Let me know if this was informative to you. If you know about Thrilljoy, Rokimoto, let me know in the comments below, and I'll go even more in depth. But that's all I have for you on this one. Peace. Perfect.